6 soldiers who died in the recent C-130 plane crash were given full military honors in Cagayan de Oro. Phivolcs recorded about 5 short-lived eruptions on Wednesday. President Duterte discusses the possibility of him running for vice president in his recent meeting with PDP Laban. Labor Secretary Silvestre Bello brings up the idea of abolishing board exams and even the bar exam. And BTS drops the teaser for its upcoming single, Permission to Dance. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know as you jumpstart your day. I'm Charles Lejano. As the fallen soldiers in the Sulu plane crash received military honors, those who survived the tragedy are suffering from trauma and survivors' guilt. Ryan Ang with the report.
Mourning filled the air as the bodies of 6 soldiers killed in the Sulu plane crash arrived in Cagayan de Oro. They were given full military honors. They were members of the 4th Infantry Division supposed to be deployed in Sulu. Their remains will stay in Camp Evangelista for an overnight wake. The families of the victims can't help but question what happened with their loved ones now in caskets.
Kasi alam na namin ang buhay sundalo. Talaga ang sundalo talaga kung mano ka sa gera o tanggap na talaga namin, pero sa ngayon nga parang umpisa pa lang sa career niya, parang na-shock talaga kami.
The family of Private Melmark Angana recalls how he signed up for military service after losing his job due to the pandemic. His first military flight, however, ended up being his last.
Ang saya-saya niya po, ma'am eh. First time daw niyang nakasakay ng eroplano.
The brother of Private Vic Monera, meanwhile, is having second thoughts of joining the military after what happened.
Pangarap mo talaga maging magsundalo. Siya ay seaman. Matakot na ako ma'am, kasi kami na lang tatlo ang naiwan sa aming pamilya.
The soldiers killed in flight will again be given military honors tomorrow before their bodies are transported back to their home provinces. Recalling the tragic incident doesn't come any easier for the survivors. Sergeant Ben Saudi Asanulia suffered burns on his face and injuries in his body after the strong impact. More painful, however, was losing his nephew who was with him in the unit for a long time.
Sobrang sakit, sir, kasi yung pagka-survive ko, sir, pilit kong balikan sana. Tingnan, pero hindi na makaya ang lakas ng
Others, like Private First Class Alchori Patula, experience survivor's guilt.
Nagkadikit-dikit kami, kaya hindi ako nasunog, sir. Kaya tabunan nila ako lahat. Lahat sila, yung sa babaw ko lahat, yun yung nasunog, sir.
Some, like Private Benjamin Obod Jr., had been traumatized after the incident. It was supposed to be his first deployment in Sulu after 6 months of training.
May liwanag na aming nakita, sir, sa gitna ng C-130, sir. At saka doon na kami, sir, gumapang ako, sir. Kung hindi na open yung sa gitna, sir, o walang liwanag sa harapan namin, sir, sa gitna, talagang ubos kami lahat, sir. Kasi hindi na kami makakalabas kasi grabe na yung apoy at saka yung usok, sir. Sobrang dilim na, sir.
The survivors thank the locals who helped them get to safety. 24 soldiers and civilians are still being treated at the Zamboanga City Medical Center, while 17 are still recovering at Camp Navarro General Hospital. For News 5, Ryan Ang, We Are One News.
Investigators are now looking into material and human factors that could have potentially caused the Sulu plane crash. Speaking with Robbie Alampayon, The Big Story, former AFP spokesperson and Deputy Chief of Staff Restituto Padilla Jr. said that the environmental factor has been ruled out. That's because the weather was supposedly fine during the incident. Padilla also said that it is possible that the systems on the aircraft could have failed, causing the military plane to crash. Although the retired general added that one of the biggest developments in the probe is the recovery of the plane's flight data recorder, which will be crucial in finding out the cause of the crash.
So the flight data recorder has a cockpit voice recorder that would provide the last-minute interaction inside the cockpit. More than that, the vital signs, so to speak, of the aircraft, which are recorded also on the flight data recorder, would be available for analysis. And the investigators will rely on those data to be able to assess if any of the systems within the aircraft were fully functioning prior to the incident, or if some of them have failed.
Padilla also said that survivors of the Sulu crash can possibly return to service. However, that would still depend on the assessment that will be conducted by medical professionals.
Doctors will assess if they have the capacity to serve, and if they have, they will be relegated to admin positions to continue on with their careers, but no longer in the line of fire, so to speak, or at the combat zone, but in a more supportive or administrative nature.
About 5 minor phreatomagmatic eruptions were recorded at the Taal volcano on Wednesday. While residents barely felt the tremors caused by these short-lived eruptions, they're now complaining about the strong smell of sulfur dioxide coming from Taal. Greg Gregorio reports.
Phivolcs recorded a short-lived phreatomagmatic eruption at the main crater of the Taal volcano at around 5 a.m. on Wednesday. It was followed by 4 more eruptions until noon, resulting in meters high of gas plumes. Over 50 volcanic earthquakes were also logged over the last 24 hours. State volcanologists note that sulfur dioxide emissions in the past 2 days were lower compared to the previous week, but the public can't be complacent just yet.
Mataas pa rin siya kasi prior nung explosion nung July 1, nag-average tayo na more than 4,000 tons per day. Ang assessment ng Phivolcs is tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung paggalaw ng magma sa loob.
Evacuees in Barangay Barigon in Agoncillo, Batangas said they did not feel the eruption and tremors today, but they are complaining about the strong smell of sulfur in their area.
Para bang nagkulabo yung paligid, para nagkulay blue. Masakit sa lagi nang parang sinisipbahin na hindi ko maipaliwanag.
Residents are hoping that the series of eruptions will not be followed by a strong one.
Dahil nakakatakot naman po, wala kaming sasakyan. Kung kami po'y mabigla, paano kami? Ganang huwag naman, Diyos ko po, sa aming dinanas.
Around 60 families or over 300 people from barangays Banyaga and Bilibinwang are currently taking refuge in evacuation sites in Barangay Barigon, which is not covered by the 7-kilometer danger zone. But barangay officials are not taking any chances. They are urging evacuees to prepare in case of a stronger eruption. Amid evacuation efforts, authorities are urging Batangueños to get vaccinated against COVID-19. Vaccine hesitancy is still rampant among evacuees even after the national government augmented supplies for those affected by the Taal's unrest.
Yung kung sino pong may gusto, hindi po naman pinipilit.
For News 5, Greg Gregorio, we are One News.
Meanwhile, Labor Secretary Silvestre Bello is now pushing for the abolition of professional licensure exams in the country. In a live event hosted by the agency, Bello recommended that licensure exams, especially for nurses, be removed. The Labor Secretary argued that nursing graduates have already gone through several exams during their years in college. Bello added that graduates of schools accredited by SHED should no longer have to deal with licensure exams to prove their expertise in their profession. That's despite recognizing that professional licensure exams are mandated by law.
Bakit pa kailangan ng board exam? Ilang exam ang ginaanan nila sa nursing. Puro na lang exam. So why? Hindi sila they do not trust the school where these nurses came from. Sabi ko, pag-aralan niyo yan, and then we can recommend to Congress. So, tanggalin na yung mga exam na yan. Gastos sa ating mga nurses.
President Rodrigo Duterte told members of PDP Laban that he's seriously considering running as vice president in next year's polls. In last night's party meeting, Duterte said his only dilemma is the possibility of being useless if he has to be second in command to someone he's not friends with. That's why Duterte urged his political party to choose a presidential candidate that he can work with.
To the proposition that I ran for Vice President, medyo I'm sold to the idea. So, meaning to say, I am seriously thinking of running for Vice President. But let me dwell into the reality of things. Sabi mo nga, if I run for Vice President, tapos ang presidenteng na-elect, hindi ko kaibigan, the situation would arise na sabi ko, I would remain an inutil thing there. Kasi pag wala kang sa presidente, suporta, wala ka talaga. Ito ang dilemma ko.
Meanwhile, the Liberal Party said it's not rushing Vice President Leni Robredo to make her decision about next year's polls. But Party President Senator Kiko Pangilinan says Robredo is still their top bet for the presidency. For now, Pangilinan says their focus is on creating a more unified opposition.
Politics is the art of the possible, di ba? Ano lang to, I could be wrong. It may definitely turn out to be something else. But what if, di ba, magkaisa si Loren, who's running, Cheese, di ba, Grace Po, Leni Robredo, Isko Moreno, Ping Lacson, Tito Soto, di ba? What if, di ba, we all, Villanueva, Binay, what if we all agree to set aside our differences and say that because COVID is the #1 challenge for the next, di ba, for the next administration, and the economic crisis will not get better before it gets, sabi nga na, will get worse before it gets worse. We have to come together, agree on a common agenda. How will we bring the country away from this pabago-bago, paiba-iba?
After 6 straight weeks of chart domination for their single butter, BTS and their local army are now preparing for a baton pass to the septet's next single, Permission to Dance. That and more in this report from MJ Marfori.
BTS is at it again. Weeks after its summer smash hit Butter dominated the charts, the global pop sensation is already preparing for another single. Its new song is called Permission to Dance, in collaboration with Ed Sheeran. The ARMY ought to wait for its official release on July 9. Meanwhile, Signal subscribers will soon have access to a 24-hour comedy channel. Signal inked a deal with APT Entertainment for Buhay Komedya or Buko. And as its name suggests, Buko will give viewers a refreshing blend of lifestyle and comedy shows in 3 programming blocks. First, Buko Originals, which features news programs such as the lifestyle show #Main Goals, hosted by Main Mendoza. Cooking show Kusina ni Mamang, hosted by Pokwang. And News Patol, hosted by Jose and Wally. Second, Tawang Pinoy Classics, a treasure trove of iconic comedies that include School Bukol, Wow Mali, Bubble Gang, and more. Third, Throwback Tawanan, kapatid comedy series and game shows back on air, such as Pidol's Wonderland, Celebrity Samurai, Mac and Cheese, and Sugo Mga Kapatid.
That's one of our fortes. That's what we really do well. I was born around comedy, syempre, with my father in Bulaga. So sabi ko, let's marry our forces together and let's provide naman something new, to the audience.
Buko will air August 2 on Signal TV Channel 2, Satellite Channel 2, and on Signal Play app. For News 5, MJ Marfori, we are One News.
And that's how the day is shaping up to be. Join us again later at 10 a.m. as we monitor the day's biggest stories from sunrise to sundown. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.